much money do you really need to retire? It's a question that keeps hardworking people everywhere up at night. And there are just so many conflicting claims because this isn't a one-size-fits-all situation. Well, I've got some good news. I'm covering the strategies that will help maximize your accounts and investments. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how much you personally need to tuck away. Regardless if you're a small business owner, been at the same company for years, or are a single parent juggling a few part-time jobs, I can tell you when it will be time to pack it off and ride off into the sunset, and the best way to get there. So say goodbye to Googling, how much longer do I have to keep doing this? Let's simplify this. Retirement is not about hitting a giant savings number. It's about cash flow. The real question is this: will you have enough income coming in to cover your expenses for the rest of your life? That's it. Think of retirement as three moving parts working together. First, your income floor. That includes Social Security, pensions, investments. Second, your portfolio withdrawals, how much you take from investments each year. Third, your real spending after taxes and healthcare. When those three line up, retirement works. Start by figuring out what you actually spend each year. Not your salary, your spending. Many people use the 70 or 80% rule as a starting point. That means you may need 70 to 80% of your pre-retirement income in retirement. Why not 100%? Because you are no longer paying payroll taxes. You are no longer contributing to retirement accounts. And many work-related expenses disappear. But that percentage varies. Lower earners may need 75% to 90% because Social Security replaces a larger portion. Higher earners may only need 50 to 70%. Now let's bring in the 4% rule. In 1994, financial advisor William Bengen studied market history and found that retirees who withdrew about 4% of their portfolio in year one, then adjusted that amount for inflation each year, had a strong chance of their money lasting for at least 30 years. For example, if you retire with $1 million, 4% gives you $40,000 in year one. With inflation, you withdraw $41,200 in year two. It's simple, but it's a starting point, not a guarantee. Some newer research suggests 3.7% to 4% may be safer depending on market conditions. So here's how you apply it. Let's say you need $80,000 per year to live. Social Security gives you $40,000. That means your investments need to produce $40,000. Divide $40,000 by 0.04 and you get $1 million. That's your rough savings target. Now, let's check that number using income multiples. If you retire at 65, many guidelines suggest around 12 times your salary. At 67, around 10 times. At 70, around 8 times. So if you earn $100,000, that means $800,000 to $1.2 million, depending on your retirement age. Notice how that lines up closely with the 4% math. Now let's talk about Social Security because many people worry it won't be here. Social Security is primarily funded by payroll taxes from current workers. Even if the trust fund reserve declines by 2030, payroll taxes would still cover a large portion of benefits. Estimates suggest somewhere between 75 to 80%. That means benefits would likely be reduced if no changes are made. Historically, when the system faced shortfalls, lawmakers adjust it. So it's reasonable to include Social Security in your plan, just don't rely on it as your sole income source. Timing also matters. If you claim Social Security at full retirement age, that's your baseline benefit. If you delay until 70, that monthly benefit can increase by roughly 8% a year. That larger guaranteed income can reduce how much you need from your portfolio and protects against longevity risk. Now let's talk about risks that basic rules don't fully capture. Taxes matter. Traditional retirement accounts are taxed when you withdraw. Roth IRA accounts are not. Required minimum distributions begin at age 73. Planning withdrawals strategically can reduce tax drag. Healthcare matters too. Medicare has premiums. There can be surcharges for higher earners. Healthcare costs need to be built into your plan, and market risk matters. If markets drop early in retirement while you're withdrawing funds, it can hurt your long-term sustainability. That's why some retirees use guardrails, adjusting spending slightly when markets are down and increasing when markets are strong. If your number feels too big, remember you have 3 levers. Raise your savings rate, delay retirement, or adjust spending expectations. Even increasing savings by 1% per year can make a difference. Capture your employer match. Use catch-up contributions if you're over the age of 50. Small changes compound over time. Here's the bottom line. Retirement is not about guessing, it's about coordinating. Know what you spend, estimate Social Security, subtract it, divide the gap by 4%, check it against 8 to 12 times your income, adjust for taxes, healthcare, and flexibility. Then validate it before making life decisions. The wrong number can quietly cost you years of freedom. The right plan gives you clarity and confidence. And remember, you don't need to replace your income in retirement. You need to replace your spending. That's a big difference. If this helped simplify retirement for you, share it with someone who feels overwhelmed. And in the next video, I'll share how to legally protect everything you've built. Because building retirement is step 1, protecting it is step 2. I'll see you there.